Hello everyone. I am Radha working as PGT Business Studies at Cambridge International School, Dasua. Dear students, we have completed our controlling chapter successfully. Now in this video, we are moving towards our new chapter, that is consumer protection. And today we will learn about the concept of consumer, caveat emptor, caveat vendor, consumer, consumer protection meaning, and scope of consumer protection. So let us start. Students, a consumer is said to be a king of the market. All marketing activities aims at satisfying consumers' needs and wants. But it has been observed that due to growing competition and an attempt to increase sales and market share, businessmen started to follow unfair trade practices like adulteration, black marketing, and misleading advertisement. Thus, it becomes essential to protect the consumer against all these malpractices. Students, according to Consumer Protection Act 1986, a consumer is an individual or organization who buys goods and services for a consideration, that is money. Students, caveat emptor. This is the traditional approach which was followed earlier. It means let the buyer beware. This principle says that the buyer alone is responsible for checking the quality and suitability of goods before a purchase is made. Now, second approach is caveat vendor. This is added to. It means let the seller beware. This principle says that the person selling goods is accountable for providing information about the goods to buyer, and he is only responsible for any problem that the buyer might encounter with the service or product. Now you will learn about the concept of consumer protection. Consumer protection is to provide protection to the consumers from exploitative and unfair trade practices and to educate consumers about their responsibilities, getting their grievances redressed, and protect their interest. For example, protect consumers from black marketing, adulteration, hoarding, and misleading advertisements, etc. Students, the picture shown above tell us about the ways of unfair trade practices which are being used by the traders or how consumers are exploited. For example, adulteration of consumer goods, poor quality of goods and services, short measure and underweight goods, creation of artificial scarcity by hoarding of goods. Students, now we will study about the scope or features of Consumer Protection Act 1986. Now these are the following points which we will understand one by one. Now first one is coverage of items. This act is applicable on all the products and services until or unless any product or service is especially debarred or excluded out of the scope of this act by the central government. Next point is coverage of sectors. According to Consumer Protection Act 1986, it is applicable to all the areas whether private, public or cooperative. Next point is compensatory nature of provisions under Consumer Protection Act 1986. Many acts have been passed for the help of consumers. Consumers enjoy the benefits of these acts, but if a consumer wishes, the Consumer Protection Act can provide extra help. As a result, the nature of provisions of this act is compensating for the loss or providing extra help. Consumer is totally free to enjoy the benefits provided in the act. Now next feature is group of consumers' rights. Consumer Protection Act 1986 provides many rights to the consumers such as right to safety, right to information, right to choose, right to seek redressal, right to be heard, right to consumer education, etc. Next point is effective safeguards. This act provides safety to consumers regarding defective products, dissatisfactory services, and unfair trade practices to ban all those activities which can cause a risk for consumer. Now next point is three-tier grievances redressal machinery. Consumer courts have been established so that the consumers can enjoy their rights, or we can say they can get protection against all kinds of unfair trade practices. Three-tier grievances redressal machinery is working at three levels, like first one at district level. This is known as district forum. Full form of district forum is District Consumer Disputes Redressal Forum. Second, redressal machinery is working at state level, that is State Commission, State Consumer Disputes Redressal Commission. And third, at national level, National Commission, National Consumer Disputes Redressal Commission. Now next point is time-bound redressal. This is the main feature of this act, that the cases are decided in a limited time of period. If you want to file a new case within 2 years of the cause of action, you can file. Last but not least, Consumer Protection Council. To favor consumer protection and to encourage consumer awareness, there is a provision in this act to establish Consumer Protection Council. So today we have studied about the consumer protection and its scope. Thank you.